G'day folks. Well, welcome to I guess you'd call it attempt 2 at a super Ramblotronic Monday. I just realised I forgot half the stuff when I went to put the video up. It's like, hang on, I was going to discuss a lot more than this and I just got completely sidetracked. It's funny how that sort of shit happens. It's just, yeah, one of my things. I like to ramble on. Jimmy Page. I'll have to post a link to that one in the description. I can't play copyrighted music like I can't now, which is today's song, Demons and Wizards, Path of Glory. Another awesome song. And, yeah. Now, what was I going to ramble on about? No, I know what I'm going to ramble on about. Plenty of computer stuff coming up. I just realised that's a proper ATX case, so I can even put my dual-core AMD in that one. It'd probably be due for an upgrade. At least that way it stays the same. It doesn't just turn into a jukebox only. It'll get more use that way. That one there, I don't know, that just acts as a generic checking things out computer. The Ethernet rarely works on it. I usually have trouble connecting to the network on that computer, so I don't really use it very much anymore. It's a Pentium 4 Think Tower, but it works alright. Anyway, first topic for today, damn EPA bullshit. They're starting to say that diesel smoke and other crap like that causes cancer, so not only do people stay further away from my dad's van, which is probably older than I am, and a bit tired, it does burn a bit of oil, but he got a ticket which was issued by a concerned citizen who called the EPA and reported a smoky vehicle. That's basically like a false flagging in real life. That's not particularly good. So we've got to work on that one, get that van fixed up. It's a real pain in the ass, and ever since they started carrying on about diesel soot and diesel fume causing cancer, people have just been really wary about them, and it's kind of ridiculous. Like, really ridiculous. So, yeah, you get the idea where this is going. It's not on, really. Are they pulling this sort of shit anywhere else in the world? Let me know. But yeah, they're starting to push this whole diesel fumes cause cancer garbage, and it's like they're trying to turn diesel owners into smokers, essentially. You become about as socially popular as a cigarette smoker, which I've always believed, even though I'm lucky to smoke a tobacco product a couple of times a year, I've always believed it's a personal choice. You should never be segregated for your personal choices, not because of what car you drive, not because of whether or not you smoke, not because of what you want to do with your life, like whether you're an engineer like me, or a banker, or a financial institution worker of some sort. I don't give a shit, and that's how it should be. So yeah, a load of crap going on at the moment, but anyway, next topic, we got some scrap stuff. A lot of people ask about how we go about scrap pricing and buying stuff. Well, I don't have a price list on me yet. I can probably get one, but prices aren't too bad. Depends on what you're cashing in, and it always pays to make it clean with respect to what category it's in, whether it's cast alloy and you get rid of all the steel bits, so it's not iron alley. It's the difference between 50 cents a kilo and $1 a kilo for clean alley. Same with stainless and copper and motors and things. Some places won't take anything that doesn't look like an electric motor. Some places will buy pretty much anything with copper windings in it, depending where you are in the world. Over here they're very picky, but in some countries it doesn't matter what it is. Looking at, I'll post you a link to a friend's walk around video at his scrapyard, and he's got piles of stuff like plug packs, even if they're a switch mode power supply, or an inverter board out of an air conditioner or something like that. It's all piled up in this pile. It's just incredible. But this is in the UK, so I'll post a link to his video there just for the hell of it. Pretty cool dude. He plays with some cool stuff, found some X-ray machines and things like that. So yeah, high voltage stuff. Can't remember his exact name because he changed it, but it used to be Black Mesa or something. Anyway, what else have we got? I've got a list this time. Cars and stuff. Lots of people offering me cars at the moment, which I don't have room for, but I want to know if anyone's had any good experiences with early 2000s Mazda Tributes. I've been offered 2 so far. One of them has a completely blown engine and it's a bit too far away to get, but the second one's just down the road from me. It's dead. It tries to start, but that's about it. But I got a feeling it's only popping and farting because the timing belt's shredded. Like, it doesn't sound right. It's got no compression on some cylinders. So it's a 4-cylinder. It's not the V6 one, which would be a pain in the ass to try and fix. But yeah, it's an early 2000s Mazda Tribute. Also white, like little car. I think a little car might need a companion. It's well and truly out of rego, so it'd have to go over the pits and everything again, which is another $500, $600. So it's like it'd probably be about $3 or $4 grand just to get the damn thing back on the road again. You can see why nobody wants to fix things these days with the amount of cost it costs here. Yeah, Micra's going to be done soon. The weather's improving greatly now that we're heading into summer, so that's a really good start. It's just a shame last weekend was so rotten bad, and that's sort of why I didn't get into those compressors at the junkyard much. Most of it's gone now. Oh, the massive one's still there, but the 2 small ones will be gone. I was there today, and the orange one's already in the bin, along with the control panel. Same with the control panel from the blue one. If you want parts out of them, forget about it. It's all gone now. I didn't have time to pick them out anyway, so yeah, don't worry about it. Not worth it. Won't be getting any turbines, I don't think, but I'll have another quick look at that massive Joy brand one, the 4-cylinder, the 4-stage centrifugal. Well, they're all centrifugal, but the huge one, the last one I did the video on, I'll have another look at that. If that's not too hard to get a turbine or two off, I will. It would be kind of cool to make a homemade jet engine with that sort of thing, assuming it even wants to work that way. But yeah, who knows? It's all junk anyway, so it'll get recycled and sent on to a new home somewhere, probably in China. Bit of a shame considering how well it's made. But yeah. Yeah, not much else happening, just server stuff. I know a lot of people offer me space on servers, but that'll be probably a last resort. I'm definitely not going to make an FTP server now that people pointed out something that I completely overlooked, which was the fact that I'm going to chew up my internet bandwidth something fierce if I try and host my own FTP server, or any kind of server. But yeah, thank you to the 10 or 15 people who offered me space on their own private servers. When I get up to that, I'll message you, or at least do another help video asking for requests. I get tons of inbox stuff, so I'll probably end up missing or not even finding your messages again, even within a matter of months. But when it comes to that point, I'll be asking for potential hosts who are willing to do that sort of thing. There is also the possibility of a forum, which I probably won't even have time to moderate. But yeah, I don't know. I would like to expand operations a bit more and get a bigger facility to do this sort of stuff, and then I probably would put on somebody as a web hosting manager and parts distribution manager, that sort of thing. But that's further down the track. I just don't have the time or the resources to do it at the moment. Right now I'm just focusing on thinning out what's going on here, making it more efficient, and just getting back to basics. So yeah, eventually I'll get a factory, inventorize stuff, work out what can be sold or passed on to hobbyists for minimal cost, and get somebody to help do dispatching and things, because right now I have no real time to go to the post office every week and just start sending out miscellaneous parts for virtually no profit. And I can't charge people, I can't bring myself to charge people much for just junk parts, and that's what a lot of this stuff is. It's just junk bits, no guarantee, no warranty, half of it isn't even tested. So it's just one of those things. You've got to work it through and find the most efficient way of distributing it amongst hobbyists, making sure it doesn't just end up as landfill, and having a good time in the meantime, which is sort of what this is all about. Just having good fun and learning stuff. Who cares about spare parts and things that get chucked out? It has to happen sometimes. So yeah, sort of a bit off track for this Ramblotronic, but anyway, a lot going on. That pretty much covers everything I put on the list, but there's other bits and pieces around. I've done a bit of messing around with these gauges and things. They're trigger switches for pressure control. They're the Mercoid controls I was getting out of the orange compressor cabinet. I'm glad I grabbed these because they got tons of mercury in them. They do still work though. They're a good pressure control switch. Little board-on tubes in them. Well, actually, it's quite big board-on tubes. That one's very stiff. That's a very high pressure one that goes up to 150 psi. But again, it just tilts the bulb till the mercury contacts and opens and closes contact. That one has two of them. One's normally open, one's normally closed. These ones here are singles. Pretty good stuff. But yeah, plenty of temperature gauges and things. They're very, very accurate actually. PIRs, passive PIR. I might try and trigger something at the gate with that. Someone suggested that, can't remember who it was again. Yeah, anti-slip matting from work. It actually came with a package load of pull cover parts from Belgium, but it's just recycled tyre and other industrial rubber product. It's really good stuff. Pretty tough. Yeah, more crap to add to the collection. And as you can see, I'm trying to get it back together again, but I blew about half an hour just trying to get the damn crankshaft through both of those con rods. I don't know how they do it at the factory, but it can't be easy. Or they have a jig for it. So I don't know if that compressor's going back together ever again, but if it does, you might see a video of it running. If not, you'll just see me getting frustrated and throwing it on the floor till the rotor comes flying out the top of the housing. That's always an option, especially when stuff like that pisses me off. Just junk. It's worn out. There's no check valve or anything. There's no unloader valve. It's just at low RPMs the valves don't do much, and it just blows most of the air back through the discharge manifold and back into the crankcase and just blows oil everywhere. It actually foams its own oil, which isn't good because those foam bubbles starve the bearings and cause things like bearing knock, which it did have at low speed. It wasn't the rotor hitting the stator, it was actually bearing knock. The bottom end's just flogged. So yeah, that thing can die. I'm glad I didn't waste any time fixing that condenser. Oil's nasty, it's had water through the system, or moisture anyway. There's a lot of corrosion on some of these parts, as well as a lot of copper build-up. You can see that copper coating on there. That's from moisture coming through with the refrigerant and dissolving some of the copper out of the coils and carrying it back to the compressor. So this thing's had a lot of copper through it. And they're very loose. So if I can get it back together one last time, I'll give it a final run with no oil. Just make it scream its head off and die. But apart from that, I don't like its chances. It's a nice little counterweight on that. Without those pistons, this thing would just jump all over the floor. And that's always an option. Watch it beat itself to death on the floor. Anyway, that's about all for now. There's not much else to report, really. Cars, computers, bits and pieces, they're all good fun. Just got to prioritise things, keep cleaning up outside so that I can move cars around, or at least get rid of all the stuff along this side here, just so I can park the Micra or something there and work on it. And yeah, got some really neat pressure controls. I'm not sure where to set these up, but I want to use one for my compressor as the on-off switch, or cut-out pressure switch. And since they contain mercury, they're probably a hazardous thing to transport, so I wouldn't even be able to sell them internationally. I don't even think they'd be permitted in Australia Post. I'm not sure what you have to go through to transport so much mercury. Don't know. I've done worse. I've transported one of those miniature refrigeration units. Little drink cooler things, wine bottle coolers that I found a while ago. I actually sent one of them to the other side of the city via Australia Post. I later found out that's classed as a pressure vessel and you shouldn't have been posting that. Oh well. It got there intact, nothing leaked or went pop. So yeah, it's all good. This will make up for a couple of days of gaming or whatever I'm going to do tomorrow. I cleaned up the computer, it's running a lot better. I'm just starting to play Borderlands. Could be a bit of fun. And if you don't see me for a couple of days, that's probably what I'm doing. Playing Borderlands. Anyway, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for lots more.